Hey!
Yay!
Boing,
It's boing! I don't like
boing.
this game, it's boing!
Boing, 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 boing.
Episode 49.
49!
I was talking to Tim, formerly Cicero, today, and mentioned that we were recording episode 50 tonight, and it was just like, it was very surprising and cool to just kind of reflect on some of that, and to talk with Tim about it, who used to be playing with us too.
Is he ever coming back?
He asked me if it went.
Nope.
It's so great that you're saying it. That's like what I'm sure other people think is your Tim's replacement. And you're just like, no, not gonna. He asked when he could call in for it, and I was like, oh, tonight probably.
I was gonna say, like, will Cicero's story ever actually be wrapped up? Will he come back to wrap it up?
We shall see. Tune in next time.
Do that. Tune in next time.
Oh.
Next time?
Keep tuning in until eventually Cicero is here.
Made it sound like
Yeah.
soon. Right.
Which also does remind me, Misery, you have a talking stone that technically Cicero has the other end
Sending
of.
stone, yeah.
Yeah. Would you want to just have both pieces since Tim's pretty uninvolved? Or do you want to?
I thought that's the connection to be able to call him.
I want to keep it.
Okay, that was my
Yeah,
question.
I want to keep it.
Because I can use it story-wise, and that's good and fine. Or if you'd rather just to have the mechanics of being able to use it, I'd want you to have that.
It's not, honestly, it's not that useful because it's just one time, one phrase or whatever.
Sometimes.
It's not.
It's like a cell phone.
It's like,
Well, no. I mean, like,
Fantasy cell phone.
you say something and then they say something and that's it. It's not like message or whatever. So
what do you mean, and that's it?
that's it for the hour or however long.
I would let it be used just nonstop.
Okay.
Fantasy cell phone.
Never mind.
Your abilities.
Then yeah. But I want to be connected to Cicero, even if it
No, it's physically
doesn't
not
allow.
Oh, your best friend.
Cool. That's good. Great. Well, then, next to that, I would like to do some announcements. First announcement is going to be working on the studio tomorrow, so it's going to get a little bit of a facelift. Really excited for that. And just in general, there's some really cool stuff moving in the background of King Leo D&D that I cannot wait to announce. That is it. That's all I can say. Next to that, too, I've realized I haven't done this in a while, and I really want to just do a couple of thank yous and mention some people that I've been working next to or I've talked to as part of the process or have been a helpful part of King Leo D&D and some things that have been going on. So first, if you have not checked out the Barn Owl Collective, Ben runs this. It's on YouTube. It's really good. He's got the series called Good Morning Adventurers. Every morning, and he does seasons, so in a couple month stints, he does like a 10-minute what's new going on with D&D, or he'll just talk through like some good advice or good things to think about if you play D&D. Really helpful videos and a really great guy. So go and support him, check him out, subscribe to his channel, and start watching his show. It's really great. Next, also Chris from Stevens Woodworks in Richmond, Virginia. Stevens Woodworks VA. Phenomenal work. He's the one who did our adventure tomes and my Deanna Shield as well. Amazing work too. Go check him out. Sycamore Beer, we love you and we enjoy you. So thank you for making great beer.
Yay.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Again. Okay.
Cheers.
It goes boing.
Boing, boing, boing.
And
Spooky boing.
lastly, thanks to my mom, the coffee artist. Who helped us with the first giveaway.
Mom.
Dan's mom.
Dan's real mom.
Dan's mom. That's a lion.
That's as great.
Our recap then.
You idiot.
Cool. Our recap takes us outside of Dustforge on the way in to talk about fantasy chocolate.
Fantasy chocolate.
To talk about the reflective
It's like
sunlight in a
chocolate,
bald
but it
guy's
tastes like
head.
fantasy.
The reflective sunlight in a bald guy's head as the odd company's leader, the dealer, was seen in sunlight, watching you all leave in the morning. On the road, talking with Treya? Yeah, talking with Treya a bit on the road, which eventually got to that evening, right as sun was setting, getting to the wall around the Dustforge, getting let in, and being kind of toured around by a Duragar named Arbiter Shen, who had a little secret huddle with you all in the back of the cart on your way through the city as you all started to ask about some of the vampire presence there in Dustforge. Then got back out of the cart, took you all the rest of the way to the West Cove Mansion, where he introduced you all by name to some of the people who live here, and then they individually welcomed everyone in to then be greeted at the entryway of this large black-stoned mansion with a massive scarlet red door and stained glass windows all over the front featuring different prominent figures of the West Cove family. Once the doors were opened and you were led inside, where we are transitioning back into this episode and into the game, is a massive dining room table extends through the meeting room, entryway, receiving room, and the first visage that you get through an archway deeper in is the long, clear, green tinted glass table that immediately has 26 chairs laid out around it. Sitting at the very far end, as you assume to be Lilith West Cove. She has long black hair that is kind of frizzied up, but has a large bun kind of set off at the back behind it. Would not be complete without a white shock going off to the one side of it. She is drow, and so she is kind of ashy gray skin. I almost said fur. I don't know what's going on with you there. Ashy gray skin, very slender elven figures, entirely similar to elven proportions, however, is known to be by everyone of this world pretty readily that this is more of like an under-elf type of person, that there is a separation between the elves that live on the surface and those that might live in tunnels and caves elsewhere across the world, much like how the Duergar are kind of like the underdwarf in that same way. And so she's sitting on the back end. You can see 6 more drow in a similar to the table, green tinted armor that comes off in spiky shards, each of them holding a spear with a green spearhead of that same similar stone. All of that with some silver kind of accessory and detail to it as well. The latchings and things that hold it together, as well as some of the cloth that's over them. The cloth being dark black, and then these silver ringlets and things that are then helping keep all of these pieces together. You all are kind of ushered in by 2 more of these drow servants, and they gesture in as Lilith, sitting back in the chair, just slowly and politely stands up and gives a half bow. And I'm going to continue to get their names backwards in my head, but then Treya also just looks over to you all and smiles and just kind of bows back. Lilith then speaks up. Good evening to visitors and soon-to-be guests in the West Cove Mansion. It is good. And she stops, sits down then to continue her introduction. It's good to receive you all and meet you, Treya, after a long time of correspondence. Please, go ahead, just sit, be comfortable. No need for any formalities. Freyja, which she gestures back to some of the servants there. Freyja, you stand down, be at ease. I simply ask that all of you please respond. You wish me no harm here in my home, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I give a deep bow and then sit down and start studying the table.
Okay.
Right.
Well.
Tuli goes to sit whatever seat is right next to Lilith, as close as she can.
Oh my.
It's a long way across that table. Yeah.
I have a question.
Hold on one second. You said yes, and Joey, you said yes.
I said.
Okay. Alright. Is anyone lying? Is that an honest answer from everyone?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
At this moment.
Right, great. Okay. Her response said, "Wonderful, Freyja, you may relax, be at ease, go about finding other things to do. I have no need for you here."
What if we said no? Would we get attacked then and there? Who would have said no to that?
Yeah, I've been weird.
Sorry.
That's in character?
Nope.
Okay. I was like,
Love table. Or just a question.
Yeah.
Tuli would probably be trying to, based on that, just be trying to sense, is there any kind of spell at play? right now?
Immediately, you are familiar with the question and familiar with runes that would be used for anything of this nature that is related. So, as you answer and look around, all across the ceiling on the border, which is all black stone, and the torches here around the room are shedding a greenish light. So the mood of the room is very odd too, where the torches are around head height, and as you all sit down, it's kind of lower cast shadows, but it's not the vibrant, bright light that you are used to when being outside, or even like when people have their rooms well lit with a large fire and torches and all of that. Like, these are kind of more subtle flames, more direct light, casting shadows across people's faces and all of that too. Julie, you recognize that there are some runes within the room that have kind of dual qualities. One is the ability to, within the School of Divination magic, discern out and understand like intentions and truth. That is also paired up with some evocation magic too, that as you are reading it and just deciphering it over a quick glance, you can read that the kind of coding of magic here in this room immediately as people walk in is just being within the space of these. If you lie, if you are to try to be deceiving anyone, that there's some form of damaging spell that would immediately like hurt you if that were to happen.
Good thing misery never lies.
Is it Zone of Truth? It's not
It's a
Zone
big
of
old
Truth.
zone.
It's similar.
Code of truth.
I have a question.
Mhm.
What do I know about Drow?
Yeah. I would say you can roll, but as you're rolling readily, you know that they're similar to elves in a lot of history and a lot of like general traits and characteristics of like
Oh,
beans.
sorry, keep going.
What'd you roll?
Oh, 7.
Okay.
What kind of check was it?
Just a check. History.
Perception.
History.
I was like, can I add
Acrobatics, right?
anything
Tell me a
to
number
it?
and I'll make something
8.
up. It's all that D&D is.
8.
Yeah. For all of the same like patterns and assumptions that you would make of the elves of your family, of like valuing things like tight family bonds, kind of just like family and bloodline over just about everything else, even the religiosity of your kind of family ties, all of that is just like pretty staple elvish lines. Beyond that, too, just specifically with Drow and some of the histories you've heard people talk about it from a religious standpoint too, is there seems to be a predisposition within Drow to be a little more rebellious and in line with Drenton, who is known to be a pretty counter-rebellious god against Valessa. So elves typically in line with Valessa, which is very true about the Pure Light family, and then Drow in general is like, oh well, they took off for lesser or more oppository gods.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tuli, when she sits down and looks at the ruins, is going to say, wow, I love what you've done with the place. And then she's going to kind of cringe for a second. She's like, okay, I guess I really do like it. And then she's going to say, don't lie, fam.
You're going to whisper down, like, don't lie to everyone,
Yeah.
as you sit right next to her.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. I have found it that knowing that we are all here to speak openly and plainly creates so much ease and trust at every time I meet at this table. The same is for me.
I don't perceive any way that she would be getting around the ruins or anything like that.
Actually, I would consider that an insight check.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll that for you. What is your insight modifier?
+4.
+4. I don't have a d20, I don't think, so I'm just going to spin this guy.
Ooh.
Ooh. She seems to be excited and relieved in the way that she is talking about, and almost reminiscent too, like she's looking back as she's talking about it in a way that like does bring her some relaxation and comfort as she's talking about the trust that can be built from conversations with people. It was a very quick and good eye from you to decipher runes that quickly. So I want to expand on that a bit. Introduce me to the people that are here in this room.
I go, oh, you were talking to me? Oh, okay. Well, I am Tuli Palo Jigatsu, and actually stand up from my chair and do a bow. Mm-hmm. And then I also do the sign of a quarry, which, don't be fooled, is not the Texas Longhorn. You might think that it is, as I come up out of the bow.
Right.
And then I turn and say, and these are my best friends. And I gesture and to whoever's next to me, I guess, over there, to say,
I am right now.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Laura Leth. Our names are close but different. Nice to meet you.
I enjoyed that too.
This is Wolfie. Nope, stroke off. We call him Wolfie sometimes.
I just keep him close to you. Oh gosh.
Well, does?
No, she's allergies.
Okay. Just keep him close to you.
He's hypoallergenic.
How is he with other animals?
Good.
Oh.
Great.
Okay.
What kind of animals?
Dragons.
I do have a cat here.
A cat!
Her name is Bevrock, and well, I'll just keep an eye out for that and make sure.
He is not a very predatory type of wolf, if that's what you're asking, and gets along with Oba very well, who is
kind of cat-like.
Yes, but he's never met a cat, so.
Right. Well.
But Oba's kind of like a cat, and they're best friends. So.
Like a dog.
What is this Oba?
What is an Oba?
Just outed Oba.
Oba was sitting next to my feet, making contact like always, just to stay close. And Helen just picks Oba up and gives her a little pet and kind of nods. Are there any other visible? This is Michael. Are there any other visible animals like guard dogs or birds or anything that I recognize in the building, whether with them or just naturally?
Yeah, from the initial entrance and seeing the castle above you, as well as just through the entryway and into this room, you haven't seen any animals. Okay. Yeah. Others?
I'm Mr. Burnus. I don't have a pet. Because my stupid parents won't let me get one. But
Yeah.
I'm here.
I think you could get your own at this point.
It's only been 3 weeks.
Not yet.
Any relation to Worth?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how so?
Dad.
Oh, delightful.
He's my dad.
You have a son?
Dad.
I'd love to chat more about that. We may have some business to take care of.
You can talk to him probably.
He's already.
We're gonna get kicked out.
Yeah, you can't lie.
Pilgrim has been kind of like running his hands along the table and like kind of like studying the rock and everything.
Right. We will
And he looks up and smiles at Lilith and does a little head nod and says, I am Pilgrim. I assume that this stone is the same stone that powers your torches?
It is a similar medium.
There's a saying where I come from that new caverns deepen wisdom, so I thank you for the opportunity to enter your cavern, and I hope that we can deepen our wisdom
Yeah.
as we learn from one another. We go back to studying to oblivious to any sort of innuendo I may or may not.
Misery laughed just as hard as everybody. Everybody was laughing.
And I just powered through the sentence.
I'm much proud of you.
I don't think any of the characters left. Maybe Misery.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess not that.
No, that one definitely didn't laugh at that.
new caverns to you, but yes, wisdom and new caverns to you, but well, I haven't. This is going to also sound really awkward. I haven't seen eyes like yours in quite a while, and neither have caverns.
Not much of a rind on this one.
Martha's.
My dad just asked about her punishment.
Oh, you met my sister Martha.
Oh
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Now there's a level where it's like I want to continue the conversation, and I'm really thinking hard about every
caverns?
word I'm using.
Yes. Interesting. Yes. Well, I'll rephrase. Let's just take that back. These caverns were home to many kind like you and yours. And honestly, I am excited to hear that a Kalashtar may walk in these caves again.
It is an honor to be here, and I hope that we can learn much, and I look forward to this opportunity to see how your people have learned to bring beauty from the natural resources of this land. And I kind of, not knock, but kind of like a little pat on the table to kind of indicate it.
This baby can hold so many courses. Make an intelligence check.
Me?
Yeah.
How smart are
My
you?
brain's so big. But am I smarter than a 5th grader?
Ooh.
17 plus...
You are smarter than a 5th grader.
17 plus 2, 19.
Okay. There is a bond that forms between you and her. Kidding.
Love story.
It's a meet cute. That's a thing, right? That's like, did you put that properly?
Yeah, me too.
I bumped into the table and spilled all my textbooks.
My glasses fell off. I'm actually
She takes her hair from the bun and suddenly is in love.
As you
Everything goes in slow motion. She goes like this.
as your hand, as you
We did the thing.
as you're like putting your hand down onto the table, and as you've been looking over it itself, there's a religious feeling that you've often had with the husk stone that you carry, and through your history with it with the Kalashtar before, and in an immediate, almost like attunement with you is this like if there were some type of like resonation of like the like vibration within this stone in yourself, like there's just this okay, like this. She's mentioned Kalashtar. You know that there have been Kalashtar here. Here's another stone that is local to this region. This is extremely similar in relation to Kalashtar and Numero, and so you're just like having that immediate physical revelation.
Now I do have a little necklace with a little piece of husk stone around my neck. Do I sense anything? Like, is the stone literally having any sort of effect on
No,
myself?
nothing like that. Cool. This is more in just like perceived intention and history behind this stone.
Mhm.
Cool. We have a couple others? Or did you want to continue?
No, I think I just kind of resumed just really studying the rock and
Yeah.
very fascinated by it in kind of like a scholarly sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
You introduced Oba, huh?
right. I just say, I'm Thelen.
Hi, I'm Gwendolyn. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Thank you. And then Treya stands up. Well, they are here with me.
Barely.
And have been, well, very successful and able and, well, daring even, protectors and escorts of me, and able to get me here for this, well, not tonight's meeting, but tomorrow's and just our ability to sync up and connect and to talk business and to form a similar understanding, to learn from each other. And Lilith just smiles and nods. Wonderful and great. And she gestures over. And these two also come from Populous with me. This is Turk, Zinj. Just nod, keep it short. They both sit down. Well, yes. And thank you again. Yes, like Gwendolyn has said, and then she sits down. Thank you for having us here. For accommodations, first, I would love to ask: will we staying here for the night? It is a bit late, or is there somewhere else that we are staying? And Lois responds and says, "No, I've prepared many rooms for you all to be able to have your own spaces, knowing that you would be arriving sometime soon. And for those who wish to stay up, I'm about to have a meal here, though I know that our sleeping schedules might be a little off or switched. I will be up for quite a while. But Treya, if you need to rest, feel free to excuse yourself as soon as you need to. Yes, I can wait." And then she just kind of settles back into the seat. I believe you were going to tell me more about some of your magical...
So like looks to the side again. It's like she's talking to her again. Oh, me. Tuli says, "Is the food out yet, or like we're okay?" Tuli just does her gesture thing where she touches the tips of her fingers together, just as a sign of respect when she's talking to someone, and she says, "Yeah. My school studies pretty interesting. It's a combination of the magical arts and the martial arts. It's something that's very common where I'm from, and I'm from a specific school called Jigyasu. So that's kind of my deal. What about you?"
Let's see.
Kind of.
Well, the West Coves have not had any sense of personal, formal training or anything in quite a long time. And though it is prominent here as well, I am simply a successor of the West Cove family. So my training, I believe that you're asking me of, is more political and conversational.
Do you cast these runes?
Oh, no. Those have stood within these halls for a couple of generations.
No. Well, that's okay.
Fascinating ordeal with that. This home of ours was transported. It used to be deeper into the caves, but when we moved up here, we were able to preserve some of this history and architecture, which is amazing. Quite a wonderful feat that powerful wizards were able to accomplish.
Love that.
Love that journey for you.
I love that journey for you, that literal journey.
As you are all getting into this conversation now for a couple of minutes and just observing her looking over each of you, and just deepening the conversation more than just the small talk from the beginning, and y'all are all somewhat perceptive in keeping mind of your surroundings, what's around you too. You can see little small traces of like black line, like veins, very short ones around her eyes.
Do you eat?
Here comes all the wine.
And the Kalishtar, Pilgrim. Where did you come from?
Your mom.
Thank you. I hail from the Krisa clan of Kalishtar. It's far from here, but in a strange way, it does feel like I have returned home to my people to be here beneath the safety of stone.
I've never heard of this Carissa clan. Where is that in relation to here? Very far northeast, or just straight north.
It would be how many days' journey? Would I know that?
If you were good at trigonometry and triangles, we'd say maybe 3 days' journey.
The sign of 7 days.
Roughly 3 days' journey to the north. I've not been there in quite a while.
I'm interested to hear more about that too. Maybe as we spend some more time together and Treya and I speak of what the future between Populous and the Dust Forge can be too, that we may learn some things from each other and may hear more of what the world is like up on the surface.
I hope so. Are the torches mounted? Are they within reach?
Yeah, they're inserted into ringlets, so the wood itself is loose.
Cool. I kind of gesture at one and say, would you mind if I were to study one of these? I'm truly fascinated by how you implement the powers that this stone dust glass, is that the correct term?
It is dust glass. Go for it. Fantasy, go for it. And the
Go for it is real.
the flame cannot harm you even, so study as close as you need to.
I walk over and just kind of stand there by the torch and like passing my hand over it and
Bury
just,
my
like,
face.
just like yeah.
What you see in the stone itself is that the light and the flame is contained within the stone, so it's not like emanating, like the physicality with which you can actually see is all harnessed within the stone itself. But it's still emanating light, and it's still kind of mimicking torchlight too. But it's magic imbued within the stone.
Tuli's like, is there food yet?
Not yet.
That's just something. Tuli's kind of like doing the whole like trying not to like look at the veins coming down the side of her eyes. But I would say that Tuli is very clearly, in her uncharismatic way, staring at the veins.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We all see it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's really awkward.
Vampires aren't like animals, right? Like there's no connection that I have with vampires different than if it was a different type of race. Okay.
Can I?
Tilly's like,
Oh, my watch!
Didn't she say she was about to eat? Didn't she say?
Oh yeah, what does
about
she
to
eat? Do we all know like about vampires? Okay.
Damn you.
Oh gosh.
Vampire?
Huh?
That's what they're called.
We got a history
they're about to
on them.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're saying something?
No, I was trying to figure out if I could be
Oh, punk.
not a punk, but like not lie and be able to be oblivious.
I like your irony, but
I'm not
Are
oblivious.
you trying to die?
No,
Okay.
I'm trying to live.
Maybe it's her. Maybe she's her.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I'm kind of Misery is like waiting for food. So he's just like any word on when you're eating? What's the food situation?
Oh, are you all staying for a meal?
I am.
Yes.
Oh, great. Oh, good to know. Frasier, please go and fetch us all some food for the start of the evening. And all of the drow that are around the room give a slight bow and leave.
The Frasier are a group of people. That's not someone's name.
I was about to ask the same thing.
Okay.
No,
I
it's
made
Frasier's sister,
I wrote
Frasier.
Frasier must be a bodyguard. So it's a group of people.
You can assume.
I'm gonna ask out loud.
You said all of the drow, so there is
I did.
more than one of
Yeah.
I'm going to ask her that.
Okay.
I'm going to say, so are they all named Frasier? Or is that a nickname you have for them?
It's the word itself is it means like family in
Aw.
our tongue. So it is a the endearing term for us, them.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Treya just, well, I'm full. And
She was already here.
Eat.
no. No, the food's not out yet.
Do we believe? I know it's small. Do we believe her that when she answers that?
Well, she'd be getting a gout of flame to the face if she was.
It would
lying.
even affect on her.
Yeah, that's what
Supposedly.
you discerned earlier, right?
Are you wanting to
Get
like
around it.
get your own personal read on that?
No.
Okay. Treya, I'm full. And it was quite a long road to get here. I would love a bed that is not the wooden floor of the cart or the dirt of the ground. So,
Trace.
yeah.
I missed that. Okay.
Is Freyja around to lead me to where I might be sleeping? And
Freyja.
just smiles.
Treya. That's not their name.
But it's the word that.
No. I think she can call them that. I don't think you can call them that.
Oh no!
Just kidding. I don't say that last part.
Neither do I. Lilith, Miss Westcove, I'm sorry, but can I get some sleep? And Lilith just smiles and looks to you, and also just kind of smiles between the two of you. Yes, that very easy. And she just leans back and goes, they'll be back soon. I don't know how about it. She's okay. And Treya just kind of sits kind of uncomfortably now. I'm just like looking around. So, awkward silence.
Tula's kind of doing like the rock in her chair thing. She's like, so, are we having any kind of meat?
What's for dinner?
I like my meat
Well
to be
done.
well done. How about you,
Animals.
Lilith? How do you like your meat?
Well done, no blood.
No, you're good.
Conversation.
That's great. I understand your unease, and
What do you mean? What easy? It's so easy. Okay.
and I have been greatly hospitable to many kinds of people here in this home, and you will be well taken care of. Do you need more information than that at this time?
Is it just salad?
So you don't eat meat. That's what you're saying.
Oh no, I will be eating meat. Do you eat meat?
All the time.
Okay.
Laura lived as a vegetarian.
It's true.
Okay, great. There will be plenty for all to eat.
Great.
What is it?
We shall see.
Just salad.
Oh, you don't even know.
No.
Oh.
Chef special. I don't know who I'm talking to.
What do you mean you don't know who you're
I don't
talking
know why I'm talking to her.
I asked them with y'all's. Yeah, she would not say y'all's.
We're
Y'all.
from Ohio.
I asked them to prepare for your arrival, and that would include having a meal ready for when you get here. I am just as intrigued at what a large gathering meal would be here prepared by them. I haven't had one in quite a while.
You travel a lot, Lilith?
No, not often. Honestly, being up in surface caves has been a rather invigorating time of being in a new place, and I actually hope to. The last journey I've taken away from the castle here was with some people who proved to be unhelpful and also unsuccessful. And it was an odd journey into the caves.
Totally guess. We met an odd group of people recently.
Very odd.
Very odd.
Almost like a company of
A
people.
company of odd people. She looks.
An odd company. They might call
Does
themselves.
Lilith react?
Have you worked with the Odd Company before?
I wouldn't say worked so much as
We were
got
threatened.
absolutely bodied.
Yes.
Logan looks up from the torch.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
I like imagine it's like still down here and he's got this guy like has red inside.
You weren't even there.
I was literally there.
We were all there.
No, this is Laura saying that. Because you hid. You didn't help the entire time. That's Sally saying that. You didn't help
Woke up.
against the Odd Company.
What's that to do with what I said?
You said they threatened us.
Oh, yeah.
And so Laura is saying you weren't even there.
We don't even go here.
Okay, I kind of look at Lilith and I say, have you worked with this odd company?
They were who I found to be worthy of hiring for escorting me down through the caves, hoping to get to my family's mausoleum, and we did not last 2 days before they just decided they didn't want to do it anymore and left. We made our way back up. So, unsuccessful and uninspired.
Clearly
Or a
sits back.
disappointment.
Crosses her arms and goes,
Yes, we could expect as much. They did not seem like the sort of people who would make helpful or even beneficial companions. They seemed rather self-serving.
I entirely agree. And what was this run-in that you had with them then?
Oh, they came to our campfire. I thought about being like, they came to our vampire campfire. Yeah. That's not very important. No. They came to our campsite, and as I said, they threatened us. And we had a tense interaction that was able to resolve itself, and then we parted ways. We made for Dustforge. They watched us leave. As I understand it, they, my companion Loreleth is less than pleased because they have invaded and are currently squatting in home.
And this was on your journey here, just over the last...
Indeed, yes.
Well, our first run-in with them was in and she kind of like looks at the guards.
oh, right.
Illegal fighting ring.
Oh.
Where I got the fire kicked out of me, literally.
By all of them.
By the torrent. You probably know him.
He was rather quiet.
Was he?
Yes.
That was not my experience with him. He seems to have found his passion for being mean.
This is very interesting. So they left Dustforge. And then the drow come back with plates of food. Each is a large bowl, and this is a thick and hearty stew. And as they start walking in, Lilith immediately just grabs one of their shoulders and says, this one doesn't eat meat. And then just nods, and that one takes the bowl that she has and walks back towards the kitchen.
Until you go,
What do you say? In a roundabout way, Lilith says to Lorelith, "No soup for you."
Oh no!
No!
Yes.
So stupid. She said there was plenty of food for me.
Yeah. You don't know if it's soup.
That's true.
After all the plates are brought out and set down, but Lorelith is sitting without one. One of them walks over with a bowl, and she's looking over at Lilith, and she's holding this bowl of a very meat-heavy stew. And she's looking at the bowl, and she's just looking down at Strogoth, and looking at Lilith, and Strogoth and Lilith, and then eventually, like, Lilith just...
What?
It's a very meat-forward stew.
I see.
His perception is low.
Yeah, it really was in that moment. It's like, did you think he's gonna kill you? I don't understand. Yeah, you can have that. That's
Okay.
fine.
And
He's
has
not
the
a
bowl, it's already
vegetarian.
down at her feet. And then Lilith just goes, like, silently just goes... and then he walks down, Strogoth says, like, kind of raises his eyebrows over, just looking up at you, just like... He looks down at the bowl, just looking for your approval for him to start eating.
Yeah.
Great.
Release.
And then,
Does Oba get anything?
yeah, it's,
Oh, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's a smaller one.
And then So awkward. One of the jar comes back out with a loaf of bread. Just-
Yeah. Wait, but
thing is
Laura is
And almost ceremonially though, this one drow just like walks in like very formally and just walks around the table. Your bread, ma'am. Sets down the bread.
And he says, "Will this be good for you?" And I don't agree.
Do you happen to have any
Carrots.
vegetables or anything?
And she just looks over towards one of the drow.
For blood oranges.
I could, if you want, you could come with me to the kitchen and pick out anything that would be good for you.
Okay.
Okay. And as you go back, there's like this like storage of raw potatoes, raw carrots, raw like celery-like stalks, things like that.
Sick. I make my own stew.
Okay.
Are they okay with that?
You can make your own, yeah.
Great.
Water,
Yeah.
boiled vegetables. Okay, great. Cool.
What do you think bouillon's made from?
Cool. No.
Things like spices and stuff.
The other liquids that they were using were meat-based.
Oh, yeah. I would use water. I would not use that. I would
Right.
use water.
Right.
And then they have spices, I assume.
Yeah.
And I'll make my own stew.
Okay.
Sugars and spices and everything nice.
Great. So about 10 to 20 minutes of Laura being in the kitchen making herself a stew as the dinner for y'all, breakfast for her, starts. And Treya just... and then Lilith, as she was kind of eating some of this stew. Frasier, please, Treya and her two guards, right? They would like to go out to bed. And two of them now, and then go and escort them out of the room. You all can see as Lilith is eating the stew that the black veins and stuff do. Just
Oh, she can eat prepared meat. It doesn't have to be raw.
Yeah.
Is that a racism?
Vampires
Did I
don't
just
eat
do a
meat.
racism?
Don't eat human flesh. That's zombies.
No, I know, but like
But you
they
need like blood.
don't they suck the blood?
Yeah, there's still blood. There's still blood.
Maybe they can eat food. But
Okay, well, on what we do in the shadows, if they try to eat food, they projectile vomit.
this is
So-
D&D.
I know, but it was
Well,
never clarified
also-
for us.
And their damn fears.
On the way in, the people were draining blood from animals. So like they do eat blood or drink blood.
They have like a blood smoothie.
That's why
with
I'm
their stew.
confused because
Double
her veins went away from eating prepared meat that doesn't have blood in it.
But we also don't know if her stew wasn't different.
Or it just could be a special
are
thing.
y'all having this conversation out loud?
Nope. We sure aren't.
Absolutely not.
Then it's not happening.
True.
All right.
Like
Because that would be insane. That right
For everyone to just like shared intelligence.
Wait, what do we know?
You're still over there. She just ate that.
Lorla says, "Have you heard of the fantasy TV show What We Do in the Shadows? They projectile fantasy vomit."
Is there artwork or anything on the walls?
Yeah, and what you can see is like oil paintings, and each of them correspond one for a lot of the stained glass that was in the front of it, and each one is labeled through as different women of the Westcote family. So all of them painting off generations above of female leaders within the family.
After Thelen eats the majority of the thick meat in the bowl, he just picks it up and kind of walks around, drinking the broth from the bowl, and has a little stick that he had whittled the branches off of on the walk over, and is just flicking it, and Oba's chasing it and bringing it back, and just kind of looking at the history and kind of just walking around because isn't too interested in conversation at this point, kind of just getting a lay of the room.
Okay, got it. As you do that, you can see five of the paintings. Different women, different names that aren't Lilith, going back at all of them. The backdrop of the stained glass is dark gray, black, like cave type background. But when you find one that is Lilith's, you can see that half of it is the dark gray black backdrop, and the other half is like a dark blue night sky. And hers is the only one that has that unique backdrop to her stained glass or her painting.
Talon would definitely pick up on that and notices she isn't really in a conversation right now. And just looks and says, Lilith, I notice your background is different from your predecessors. I don't know if that's the right word. Why is that?
I'm the first to rule the West Cove family from the surface. So I had that one redone to reflect the new environment.
Talon just nods and continues to walk around.
We learned that West Cove is one of 4 families in Dustforge. Do the 4 of you have amicable relations? What is the nature of the other families in the city?
We try, and it is a nominal goal of ours to work arm in arm. Though I have my doubts and fears.
Speaking real careful there, Lilith.
Did you say that?
Yes.
I sure you can appreciate that.
Probably not.
I'm sure you could attempt to understand that having a group of strangers in my home with very little to go off of with their affiliations and affections, I do not know with which company I'm speaking.
I thought you were just trying not to get blasted by the roots.
No, I will speak openly and honestly of my uncertainty of the tension and truthful claims of the other families here within Dustport.
We were told that something happened to like the North Cove people. Do you know anything about that? Are they still around or?
None still live. Before we made the move for the surface, they very fervently thought that they should stay in the caverns, and also we as a people should stay in the caverns. And, none of the other families would have that, and Dustforge settled things Dustforge style. And the South Cove family raided an attack and ridded them out from their home. And then we moved up here.
Tuli says, wow. It's pretty violent.
Happened in a night. One quick night.
You sound kind of sad about it.
It is a part of our history.
Oh no!
She's covered in soup. Yeah. Stuck.
Why, if you don't mind me asking, why couldn't they just stay down there?
The move and the efforts and intentions and meetings and all that went into this change for us is in an act of unity and a blatant act of disunity and separation from the full movement. It was an all or nothing decision, and all went and nothing was left behind. It is a challenging environment, I'm sure, and I'm curious to hear how other civilizations deal with their decision making and disagreements even. I've heard, and Treya and I did get to speak a bit about this in writing, but I hear that other places don't live so harshly as we have been accustomed to.
Well, I didn't say that. You ever been to a pori?
No, I have not.
Makes this place look like a picnic on the lawn. Let me tell you, like Coachella.
Fantasy.
Coachella.
No.
And so there's a ton of coaches there. It's like you both pull your coach up and
Oh.
it's like a coach show.
Horse festival.
Coach show.
Yeah.
Horse festival in Kambas. You are from Mapori then?
Tuli goes, yeah, what did you think this meant?
Your wrist hurt.
So the Texas Longhorn.
Reigning champions at Coachella. One of the best coaches. Fondly or not fondly from Mapori?
Tuli says, there's people there that I love, but it was a pretty awful experience growing up there. I gotta go back. I got unfinished business. But for now, I'm with my best friends.
Best friends.
Best friends.
Best friends.
And Jigyasu, you said.
Yes,
Do you know of the Bod family then?
I do.
Probably.
Do you remember Turi?
I do.
Do you remember when you
once
created your...
Michael asks a question.
Yeah.
How would she get back to a port?
Michael asked a question.
Okay.
That's an in-game question that I don't even know if she knows.
Okay.
A mystery to this story.
Whoa.
What did you
All
ask?
6 and 30.
How did she get back to a port?
Oh, yeah. How did she get here in the first place?
We should just fall into the lake or something.
We don't know.
I'm pretty curious about that too. How did she get here?
You should tell us.
Just following more links.
I thought that's what happened. You
Yeah.
mentioned that, right? You just fell into the lake.
I think
Okay. So can we?
Do you know of the Bod family? Is that how it's pronounced, Bod?
Tuli is like very rudely has picked up her soup and is slurping it in the middle of this conversation. And when you say that, she kind of like drops it and it like hits and like splatters a little bit. And she kind of looks at exactly.
That was so needed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And she kind of just sets her hands down on the table and says, "Do you know Bob?"
Bod.
I know I do. Where'd you go?
Way to sling it back at him. What do you know about Bod?
I just want to make sure that you make sure that I make sure that you make sure that
No, but you said you knew about them, right?
Tell me what you think I know.
Well, when you were talking about training and your upbringing, it used to be in the West Cove family history that we would be trained up, and some of the Freyja that are here do still hold on to some of that training. The South Coves, they have taken into some of the a new mentor of sorts taking over their fighters training recently, and it is of this Bod.
Tuli says, "What is their first name?"
The mentor? Yeah,
No,
okay.
the new trainer.
Yeah, I don't know. I just heard the name Bod is this entity, this person that has come in. It also is a style that they claim. That's all I've been able to really glean from rumors and whispers.
Julie kind of leans back in her chair and says, "How the heck did she get out of the port?" And kind of to herself, and then says, "Where are the South Coasts? Just asking for a friend."
They have their own castle.
Cool.
Yes, off. More towards the northeastern end of the caverns here, closer towards the entrance to the actual mines. Do you know of any insider information of this bod's style or anything?
Thule says, well, I don't want to cause any friction between you and the South Coves. Suffice it to say, I am not a fan of this school. There's been some tension between my school. My mentor's name was Jigasu. Traditionally, where I'm from, you take the last name of your mentor. And so if this person's last name is Bod, then their mentor was the trainer Bod. And so they may have, they have tried to kill me, but it's fine. It's fine. It's all water under the bridge, probably. And then Tuli kind of looks around at her crew, like meaningfully, as in like, I'm gonna tell you later.
Misery's very intrigued by this.
And Tuli says, particularly one of the students, Tari Bod, who was a student of Bod, she and I specifically have a lot of unfinished business. The primary reason that I left Apori is the School of Bod.
What did they do?
Well, like I kind of just said very quickly under my breath, they tried to kill me. Well, it sounds like you, coming from the Underdark, or I don't know what you guys would call it here.
Home.
Okay, sure. All right, my home is Apori, fine. Your word. It's a fairly lawless, survival of the fittest kind of place, and I am a student of the biggest school in our capital city, in Apori. Jigasu has long been one of the most respected schools. It's very honorable. We fight clean, and we fight fair, and we fight noble, which is, you might imagine, kind of rare where I'm from. And the politics of the school are cutthroat, and that is not an exaggeration or a metaphor. And basically, I kicked Tari Bod's butt, and she couldn't handle that, and so she sabotaged a fight that I was in. Tula's just kind of like word vomiting now. Mm-hmm. She sabotaged a fight that I was in and caused me to accidentally kill another student. And she did it using Mind Link, and kind of like looks over at Pilgrim.
So,
I'm making.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I don't remember exactly. This is Rachel. I don't remember exactly what she did, so I just made that up.
That's great. That's very cool.
It was all your territory anyway. So.
Okay, good.
Pilgrim has been mage handing the torch to bring it in all kinds of different directions to like see if it alters the fire, but when she said Mind Link, it like stopped. And I kind of slowly brought it back down and took it and just kind of no response, but just
Pilgrim, that's why I threw up. Pilgrim.
I of course I have no idea. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, it's not your fault. You didn't sabotage my fight and make me accidentally murder someone. Or did you? I'm just kidding, I know you did.
I throw the torch back in the bracket and I just kind of walk back over to the table and sit down.
So anyway, there's a little bit of history between me and the bots. And I was chased out of town and blamed for this murder and fled for my life, literally, and stumbled somehow into a lake portal that, water portal, we would call it, that dropped me straight into the lake outside of Oculus. No idea how. Apori is a very mystical place, very dangerous outside the cities. Probably shouldn't have been wandering, but like I said, I was running for my life. So, no idea how to get back, but I don't know what happened to my family. They probably took some of the heat. And that's my life story, and it's true. We know this.
Wow. That's pretty badass, honestly.
Yeah.
In sort of a almost like weirdly tone deaf and not empathetic way. That, like, it's just like a bit off of the way that she's been throughout this entire meal. So then this bod person, family, whatever, would confirm suspicion that probably up to no good here.
That's certainly been my experience, and I know Tari sabotaged my fight with the express permission of her mentor, Bod. And she kind of leans forward, like, uncharismatically, but conversationally, and says, but listen, Lilith, I'm not saying, you know how it is down there, or, at home, quote unquote. It's very cutthroat. It's eat or be eaten. So what we would call bad, I don't know that, people where we're from would call it bad. I would certainly call it bad. I'm not a fan of murder.
Well,
Yeah, come on.
South Coast, on the other hand, they may feel differently. Not to cast
Well, they
aspersions.
did murder a whole family of people in one night.
I know, right?
and if they're affiliated with the Bods as well, that has hopeful end.
Probably not.
Wait, the
Depends on what
bods
you're
are
talking about.
here?
Have you been listening at all?
Is that what it
The
is?
trainer bod is here.
Got it.
Yeah.
Someone
Who was
We
trained
don't know
by
which
Bod.
one.
Bod Bod!
That's almost as crazy
Is
as learning
training
about vampires.
specifically the
That's
South
a good
Coast
wisdom.
family?
Thanks, Lord Lift.
You're welcome. Misery. What a miserable conversation you've
I
had.
have a lot more work to do tonight than I thought I would then. So, thank you. This is immeasurably valuable information. And I'm certain that you have provided me with more protection than you could imagine. So, with that, I am going to excuse myself. You may stay here. My family will be here to escort you as soon as you are ready or need.
Before you retire, I must ask, who among the people of Dustforge specialize in the crafting and working of dust glass?
There is one man.
There you go. That's all you need.
One man.
This is
One.
I'm looking for one.
Tell me about this one.
Hank Lundman.
Oh.
Honestly, the name does kind of fall flat with the momentum that has been built for us to be one man. But Jacques,
Jack?
Jacques,
Jacques Woodman.
Jacques.
Jaquez.
Scruggs?
Scruggs?
Scruggs. Jacques Scruggs.
He don't want, he ain't got no scrubs.
Jacques one man.
Buster Scruggs?
No,
Is that what?
no. Scruggs on
He
me.
don't want no scrubs.
He hasn't been decontaminated yet.
A scrug is the
Jack
guy who
Scruggs.
can't get no love from me.
The Emerald Hood.
The Emerald Hood.
So like in the
Thank you, Lilith.
Many form it and work with it. He is the most talented with enchanting it.
I'm excited to be enchanted by it.
Oh.
Tuli says as Lilith
You want to see his
is leaving as an aside. Lilith, I know you don't know me, but I would be very much indebted, and she does kind of the bow thing, if you would let me know anything you find out about this bot trainer at the South Coast.
Of course, we'll do. Maybe we can work together on this.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna go straight there tomorrow. But anyway, I'll let you know what I find out.
Something tells me she's gonna find something out sooner.
Okay, well then, I will retire. Wonderful meeting you all, and well, rest well.
Sleep well.
You too.
Also with you.
Night night, Lilith.
Have a good sleep.
With your spirit.
I am going to work.
Oh.
Not sleeping. It
Okay,
is-
sweet dreams.
the sun has just set.
Okay, night night.
Good night.
We're all saying the same thing.
Okay.
So, y'all are still here in this room. And the drow are there as well, or Freyja. So, if that changes anything, or if you'd like to sit and talk here for any longer, you can.
Did you say there was a fire or no?
No, just the torchlight.
Okay.
Guys. Did you see?
That's just a vampire.
I'm gonna mind link with Misery and say this is not the time or place.
You're not the time or place. I say that out loud.
Indeed, I am been. Truly, I'm sure.
I'm a person.
I'm a person.
Oh.
Julie, I'm sure you did not expect this evening dinner with Lilith to become an exposition of your entire life story. So appreciate you sharing that, and I'm so sorry for the broken road that led you straight to us.
No!
God bless it.
Tuli is maintaining, she is definitely shook, and she's maintaining a facade of like being completely happy and obnoxious like she usually is, but the tell here is that she has like slowly been grabbing everyone's soup and like pouring and she kind of has it like right here and it's just kind of like hesitantly eating and she's like, yeah, that was kind of fun.
Fun is a
Thank you.
word that you've used.
It sure is. Thank you, Pilgrim. I appreciate it.
Thelen walks over and just says, "Thank you for your vulnerability and honesty. I know that isn't always easy."
She puts on her soup and says, "You are most welcome." And then picks it back up.
I mean, if you're alright with telling more, then I kind of want to know what happened with the fight. How'd you kill him?
That's a rude question to
Well, I mean,
ask.
it's misery.
I was talking to Julie.
Lorelith would have no idea. She clearly is upset by it.
Lorelith says, Misery,
Lorelith says that?
I mean, no. Lorelith says, and I agree, no. Tuli says, she says, bless you. And then she says, Misery, you're my best friend. And I want to grab a beer and tell you all about it. Maybe not right now.
Not the time or place.
Not, well, what does that mean? I've never thought or heard that before. And Julie says, and it's definitely because I need time to process and not because I don't know or remember. That's definitely not the reason.
Okay, we'll do it in another episode. I mean, another time.
Great sisters. I mean, Julie.
Yeah. Right.
And then God says goodnight and it fades to black.
I just want to remind everyone that Tuli shared a lot of this with Gwen privately. Your characters didn't know. But y'all know.
That's true.
She shared. So I don't know about this misery being your best friend, Rachel, but we can talk.
Oh, wait. And then, that's true.
Whoa.
Well, okay, but Tuli's the kind of person who says, everyone is my best friend.
Yeah.
But, and then she, like, Gwen has not maybe said a word, well, you haven't said a word this whole time.
No, because I do.
And she kind of just, like, looks over at Gwen and says, you're right, Gwen. I'm glad you were here, too. Gwen just very quietly at the end of the
So you
table.
did a good job, middle one.
You have a great point, Gwen.
Lorelith, though, had an outburst to Misery on prying inappropriately, is still kind of uncomfortable with feelings and kind of looks over at Julie and goes, there.
Julie like slushes the soup and grabs her hand. I was like looking at her. The soup is balanced in her arm.
Are you okay?
Like tears start to look. Yeah. And then she like pats your hand and goes in person.
Cool.
Yeah,
Just
thank you for
checking.
asking.
Yeah, no problem.
Tuli eventually wants to talk to the guards, but she's not going to do it tonight.
I am going to point at one of the torches and make eye contact with one of the drow. Be like,
It's like you can't make eye contact with the torch.
No. Do you think it might be alright if I were to borrow one of these stones to continue studying it?
Where are you all about?
And I start to like mage hand it like out of the torch so I can like up in the air and like, keep pointing at it.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Wonderful. And I very quickly catch it and put it in the pocket and contentedly smile. Say, well, I'm ready for bed.
There's something really funny.
The
about
sun just
like,
went down.
drama happening like in the background. Where it's just like trying to like pull a torch off the wall.
Was there like any vegetation, I guess maybe is the best word, outside, like that I would have noticed when we were walking into the castle and stuff?
None. It was the only other place like this you've seen was Misery's family. Their estate that they had in Populous, and theirs was surrounded by a garden and bushes and shrubbery and all this stuff. This one had the same type of like fence outline, but everything inside of it was like stone floor, stone statues, and no like greenery at all.
Have I seen anything since we've been down here?
Just the celery you ate.
I'm trying to think of how best to do this. I kind of like lean over to one of the walk over to them, lean over them. Hi. I know that there was like a whole process that we had to do to come in here. If I leave, can I just like come back, or do I have to do that again?
Oh yeah, no,
That's
that's long-standing. It is mostly ceremonial, but also the welcome, unless ceremonially revoked, is eternally open.
Cool. I just wanted to go look around Dust Forge, and I don't know what time I'm going to be back, so I don't want to like...
So there will be someone at the gate.
Cool. And I
Would
kind
you-
of like... What?
Would you need an escort or someone to walk with you through the city?
Do you think I need?
Covered in both.
It is merely just a service one of us would provide. It depends on what you're doing and where you are going.
Is it dangerous out there?
Should not be.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm fine. And then I kind of like whistle over to Strokoth. That's up next to me. I'm like, cool, well, see you guys later. Bye. And I leave. And I'm gonna go look around. I want to see if I can find anything. If I can find any wildlife or anything like that.
Great. Roll an investigation check.
Bye.
Wow.
Since you are not in nature, investigation.
Whoa!
Wow.
What's so far? What is it? What is it?
100.
What is it?
Oh no.
What is it?
Way.
Nat 20.
That's money, bro.
Do you need to know my modifier?
It's 20.
What is it?
It's a nat 40.
Whoa. It might be negative. What your intelligence is.
This one.
You said investigation?
In other words, he said you're dumb.
You saying I'm stupid?
I'm stupid.
21. 21.
It takes you a couple hours of roaming around the city, walking through the streets, keeping your eyes up
Faces
for a bit,
past and
and
Shrub
you are seeing the half dome of the cave that you were in, and lots of this black brick work that makes up both the roads and the buildings, where it just immediately becomes very repetitive and winding and so different than the tree houses, even extremely different from Populous, because Populous is surrounded by grasses, bushes, trees, like all of that. This is so far from that. Everything is stone. But you get off towards the northeast of the dome, and one thing that you spot in an area that's labeled for, you can see a troop of Duragar walking in a line together with pickaxes over their shoulders, maybe 6 or so walking in this direction, neat 6 or so walking out, sit at a table to do some paperwork, and you can tell that they're meeting at the mouth of the caves that go down into the mines, and they're kind of switching shifts. And as you see that exchange happening, there's like one long black root that comes up out of the cave and kind of curls in, and just peeks out of that area of the cave. It's the only plant life that you see.
Can I go look at it?
You head over towards the cave. You met at that like kind of table, and not really a fence. It's more like a kind of like a half brick wall where it all kind of funnels into this point where somebody is standing guard at this part where before the caves shift.
Loreleth.
What is your affiliation?
Oh, I am here visiting in Dustforge on a trip from Populous, and I typically am used to a lot of vegetation and wildlife and things like that, and so this is a little bit different of an environment for me, and I noticed the root over there, and so I'm kind of naturally drawn to those types of things. I just want to check it out and see what it is.
Make a
It's the
persuasion.
most honest Loreleth's been with anyone ever.
Make a persuasion check.
Listen, that other guy asked if I needed an escort. Now I'm on edge.
He called you an escort?
I kind of.
Last time in Popular, somebody said that to you. You got really mad too. It was a guard that was like offering to walk you home, and you were like, "I'm covered in bones."
I wasn't trying to like. That's not what I was doing this time. This time it was more like, oh, should I be worried? Because I'm in such an uncomfortable place.
You should save this.
Wow, this is incredible dice from North
It's
Foundry
weighted.
that I got when I went
You did
to
get
Dragon
it.
Con.
Wow.
Did you really?
I did.
That's so
Seems like North Foundry's really good at making high quality dice that make great rolls.
Yeah.
They're really good at making dice that always roll 20s.
Roll
and
20s.
cheat.
Look how good it is.
Wow.
I should reach out to them.
Look at it.
He
See, they're really cool.
this guard that you see this, he is Duragar as well. And this Duragar has his hair, it's really awkward and looks strange, but it's pulled into two really tight ponytails. You can see this big like gap in his hair through the center of his head. But then it comes back into two braids that he then drops forward onto his shoulder. And he's wearing like leather armor, and he's got a little like buckler shield off to his hip and like a short sword in his other side of his hip. And he just looks back, he's really uncomfortable, and he just looks at you for a moment. Not really supposed to do this. Alright, he looks back and sees that nobody's coming. I'll take you back to it for a couple moments. You can look it over, do what you want to do. At the mouth of the cave, we're not going any further in. You can check it out and then come back to the city.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks.
You walk you over to it. It's massive at this point. It's about this big.
Yay thick.
Around. Yay. Pretty yay.
Yay!
If I've ever seen a yay this big, I would yoed it away. And then it eventually thins out and wraps around on the inside. But once you get to the mouth of the cave, it's about how big it is right there. What would you like to do once you were closer to it?
Can I, like, I want to tell, like, what it is as far as, like, is it food? Is it for looks? Is it, like, just what kind of properties can I tell
Sure.
from it? Does that make sense what
Absolutely.
I'm
Make a nature check.
Get out of here.
12.
Wow, I saw 2 and I was about to freak out.
I know.
Freak out.
Which one?
That's really easy to die to bowl over your teeth.
16.
Plants often send out like a vine. It's like a mix right between vine and root because it itself is trying to figure out what it needs. So as you are looking at what this piece of the plant specifically is, this is a part of it that has to be the biggest plant biggest tree you could ever possibly imagine from the size of this one sprout, this root. And then also you can tell that in the way that it's like forming in this way and also the way that it like extends out and curls, like the tree itself, this is a part that's like searching for something, usually sunlight, and it seems completely like untouched when it comes to like I mean, other than some like crude like carvings and stuff that people have like just put into it with like their name and things like that.
Stod was here.
Right. Yeah, things like that. But like, it doesn't seem to be any advantage to being where it's at right now.
Can I want to ask the guy if he knows anything about it, about this plant.
Like what?
Do you know what it's called, what it's for, where it comes from? Have you used it?
I don't know, the chain people seem to revere it a bit. It's called the Darkwood, and I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm of the surface generation, so I wasn't in the was a part of the earlier phases of Duskwork. I'm sorry. About it.
So it does come from deep down.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. Oh yeah. It comes from deep in the caves, and it's been there for I think longer than we were down there.
Do you know if it flourishes down there?
People talk about its actual the central part of the tree exists down there somewhere.
Okay.
Does Wolfie pee on it?
No.
I'm sorry. I perhaps if I see you again, I'll ask around and maybe I can get more.
Oh, thanks.
Great.
What was his name again?
You didn't give it yet.
Oh,
Guard.
what was your name?
Charlie.
Oh, Karn.
Karn?
Yeah, Karn.
Sorry, that was Sally asking to make sure that I was pronouncing it right. Nice to meet you, Karn. My name is Laura Leff. This is Stroke Off.
Oh, hi, buddy.
Great. I'm staying at. I know that there are dynamics here, but I'm staying at the West Cove Mansion. So I don't know what that means to you, but it means different things to different people.
You made him roll dice.
You went out there.
Hi. Understood. And if we see each other again, I'm sure I'll recognize you.
Okay. What just happened?
That's what he said.
Okay, bye. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
He turned and rolled a die and then
And I kind of start walking back to the West Cove Mansion, but also like what? So I'm in the northeast part of town.
Mm-hmm.
Can I like safely assume that this is where like the North Cove family is?
I would.
Oh, that's right. They died.
I would also say from the conversation.
Is it the East Cove family?
From the conversation with Lilith, the Cove part of the family names was geographically relevant when they were in the caves,
Oh, but not anymore.
but not anymore.
So I can't
You're
easily
not sure.
discern
Yeah.
what part of whatever. Okay. Well, on my way back, I'm not taking the fastest route back to the mansion because I kind of want to get a little bit of the lay of the land and see if I can like perceive anything about like maybe what Cove is on this side of town, what sort of happenings happen after nightfall.
Sure.
I guess it's a cave, so it's always dark.
After the sky turns off.
After the sky turns off.
It's like city then.
But like, you know, just getting the general feel of the culture and happenings of this town since it's so very different than
Sure.
anything I'd experienced.
Roll a perception check.
Of course.
Do it.
Not like that. Just kidding. Do whatever you want. No. Do whatever you want. You wear a button. No, I was an 8.
Oh. What is it? Like
It's less.
Oh
It's
no.
less than a 20.
It's less.
Plus 6. So 8 plus 6 is
14.
14.
You took so long. Go.
So you're walking through town. You're looking for signage. You're looking for like overhearing conversations. All of it's just like what is happening around. What is the city like? For 30 minutes or so, It's busy. A lot of people are walking through the streets and getting around. You see at one point a huddle of people all in white robes, kind of like muttering the same thing as each other as they're walking through the streets, stopping and looking at different buildings, and you eventually glean that they're like kind of praying over different spots of the city. And then also you can see, you hear like a loud like blacksmithing hammer striking down. And as you look over, you can see this massive figure with 2 heads on his shoulders, just with one hammer in its hands. And the 2 heads are kind of talking with each other, but slamming down. And it's a hot forge spilling the sparks off of the metal that he's working on. And
Have I ever seen anything like that before?
no, I mean, first of all,
This person has 3 heads?
2 heads.
You said one on each shoulder.
Whoa.
He has 2 shoulders.
Right. I guess
Not
I
one in
just
the middle.
assumed that there was one in the middle.
Yeah.
It
No.
didn't sound
How do you have a shoulder in the middle?
That's not.
It's like the orc from Monty Python.
I think we're getting
But
off
I've
topic
never
here.
seen anything with 2
Not only
heads.
is
Ask about necks.
his in particular, like, physical size is much larger than the average person, and also the additional head.
Does he have additional
They're talking.
limbs?
No, 2 arms.
And they're talking to each other?
Yeah, one
They're
word.
not focused on blacksmithing?
Hey, hit there. Got it. Bing.
Okay. Alright, keep going. Sorry. This is really threw me for a loop. I didn't expect to see a 2-headed creature today.
I hope their names are Zach and Wheezy.
It's a fantasy 2-headed creature.
Sorry. Keep going.
Thanks.
What else do I stumble upon?
And eventually you turn across, going through what is now a new residential area. At one point, you're trying to get your bearings, so you're trying to figure out which way to go back when you need to be heading back home. And as you turn down this alley, from behind you, just a couple paces, you just walked down, you can just hear, looks like you're getting a little lost.
Ooh. Discomfort.
I am fine. Thanks.
Where are you heading?
To the place where I'm staying.
Need someone to walk with you?
Who's asking?
You good?
That's a good question.
Joe's very engaged.
Just a concerned citizen?
It's a little suspicious that you're not sharing too much information.
You can hear footsteps getting closer to you from behind. I imagine you haven't turned around yet, but doesn't respond. You can see her footsteps coming.
I turn around.
Okay.
And Wolfie's on alert.
Oh yeah, he just immediately sees his record. Just growling at him. And you can see 4 people like round this corner behind you. Black veins just spread all across their face.
Oh!
Bye.
Bye! Make your new
Bye,
character!
Call the guy.
We gotta call Worth.
I should be going. So
So look at that.
listen. You seem like really nice people. You don't seem like a concerned citizen. I'll be frank with you. My wolf here is more powerful than you may think. If I understand correctly, heat and light and fire is not good for you. So, I'm suggesting that we both go our separate ways and call this meeting time. I will be sure to get home quickly if you will kindly leave me alone.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah!
Intimidate
Oh, that's a
Jeffrey?
fun
Is
check.
this
I've
a
never seen.
Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Can I do a Jeffrey
It's
check?
a Jeffrey.
Yeah!
Roll
Roll
for it.
first.
No, you can't.
I vote.
Joffrey.
Yeah.
I definitely vote Joffrey. Well, if you fail, yeah. Oh, I mean, that's not bad.
14
That's okay. I'll
plus,
give low charisma. It's a charisma.
plus
Intimidation.
1 is 15.
I mean, the episode's almost over.
Yeah.
Can I use Joffrey? Hello,
Yes.
Joffrey.
This is important.
Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joffrey.
Thanks,
Thank
Joffrey.
you, Mr. Joffrey.
Where's my dice?
So
What if
this
you
gets
roll
added
lower?
onto her roll, right?
No, this is a separate roll that 5 is automatically added, plus her 1. So whatever she rolls, plus 6.
Okay.
And she can keep the first one.
11.
All right,
That's
17.
17.
It's more.
17?
17.
17.
Oh.
11 plus 6 is
5
17.
Plus 1.
Good job.
Plus 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. I kept thinking it was 10.
I still have, but I'm not. Do I have to be with her to use my Dread Weaver's ring?
Yeah.
I do. Okay.
But you're 17. Okay. The guy who is in front of you says you speak up and stroke off as he's and his teeth start to show, and then you're in a shady shadow, completely dark part of the alleyway. But then this firelight just starts to puff up, and you can see the dormant flame within Strokoth's throat lights up the faces of these guys, and when they look down and they're looking up at you, and your bones are now reflecting the firelight too. The guy just goes, maybe we let this one go. Steps back and forth and just receives back.
That was fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
That could
I'm not in the
be
mood.
bad.
Thank goodness you were nice to that random dog that time.
That one time.
Wow.
That was awesome.
Back to the mansion I go.
With that, Loyalist has been gone for 3, maybe 4 hours. We'll hop real quick to everyone gets escorted to their own bed, on separate rooms. Anything you want to handle before going to sleep for this night?
I'll approach Tully's room
Okay.
and knock.
Stop. Rip open the door. And Tuli says, Gwen.
Hey, Tully.
Hey, Gwen.
I know we have our own rooms here. I just, I know you don't love being in your own room, and
Aww.
it's a tough night. So I'll leave the door unlocked. I'm not hitting on her, to be clear.
I think
Tuli doesn't have that protection.
As Gwendolyn is talking, you can hear. And then at her feet behind her is this black cat with 6 tails, just immediately spread out. All of the tails
One
are
head.
floofed up to make this one massive fan
Halloween
in
cat.
the back of it,
Just
like
and these
peacock.
2 bright yellow eyes just staring up at you. And then as it
Is it a furball?
Pix? Is that the one that has the most pix?
I don't know.
and then there's this,
No.
A furbolg is like a bull man.
No. What's the name of the cat from
Munkins of Remote.
the name of the cat from
Tabaxi?
from Captain Marvel?
Oh, that thing.
No,
Goose.
it's not that.
Goose.
Yeah, but what kind of alien?
No, that's an alien. This is fantasy. This is fantasy.
And then eventually, as those 2 eyes just really brighten up, and then it starts to do that kind of sidewalk as it haunches its back up, and the tails flail out. Then and 6 eyes, just 2, 2, and 2,
Ew.
as it just lights up and starts glaring at you from right behind Gwendolyn.
Tuli immediately, with her martial art quickness, is going to grab Gwen and twist and pull her around behind her and hold the door ready to slam it shut.
Great.
Is
You
the
do.
cat growling at both of us or just me?
All 6 eyes locked on Thule.
Oh, totally.
They're all in different directions.
Help! Yeah.
Tuli says, "Get behind me, Gwen!"
Is that it? You all good? You just heroically get the door
Is that
shut.
it?
and-
What does the cat
I mean,
do?
we're watching the cat to see what
We're
it does.
watching
What
the
does it
cat.
do?
Oh, it's just creepily walking away, seeing you locked on, and just kind of back away.
Does Gwen do anything? Tuli would just watch it leave.
Shrugs and she's like, it's a weird little critter. Well, good night. Invitation stands.
Tuli says, "Okay, let me get my stuff." Goes to get her stuff.
Gwen stops and nods a little bit and waits for her.
Cool. Okay, anything?
I probably would have, as soon as they offered beds, have gone back to my room with the stone, and I think I would have tried the same typical meditations and connecting with Numero, but I'm not even sure how. I don't even really remember it. Just knowing I come from the people that have been able to channel powers through these stones, you know. And
Yeah.
I don't know how this dust class works, but it's just like seeing if I can get any sort of connection or clarity through.
Any type of question or intention with this?
I mean, I think it's just the same, like, clear the fog, light the path, like, continuing to, like, reconnect with past memory.
Yeah.
And then also kind of with that, just like, numero, please clear the fog, like, adding that in, just, like,
Yeah.
general connection clarity.
You can feel the resonance and the connection, but nothing like memory-wise, no communication, nothing like manifests out of it.
Okay, cool. Well, then I'd probably just spend, like, some amount of time, maybe, like, an hour, just seeing, is there anything that I can, like, even after that, like, any sort of thing I can glean from the stone, any sort of properties, whatever, and then after that, just go to bed.
Do another intelligence check.
Okay. That's a 10. Is this a little 10?
Total?
I think so. Pretty sure. Yeah, it's just a 10.
Okay. Maybe it was a bit more time. Like, you were looking it over and seeing the actual glass makeup itself and some of the features that it has that mirrors physical properties of Huskstone, but the way that magic has interacted with it seems to be different. And so you were just, like, starting to isolate and try to understand that information that you're taking in. Cool. Is there anything from you before we go to bed?
Not really. I'm just kind of working on songs, and so if anybody's in rooms next to me, they hear some muffled singing.
Okay. And tell anything before we go to bed?
Nope.
Okay. So everyone goes to bed, lays down. We're working on a long rest here and getting ready for the next morning. Before you all go to bed, if you all could just roll a d20 for me. Give me the
Don't tell me these things.
Oh, brother, this is like that TikTok.
Yeah.
Everybody hands me a
So
d8.
you're all gonna all take a long
13.
rest?
Oh no! They're all bad too.
So 13,
Or just one.
I rolled an 8.
8,
Drawing that one. Nice. Who's good?
An 8.
8,
1.
1,
Ooh.
10.
10.
14.
Who
Okay.
dies again?
Oh no.
Julie passes
Not a
away.
good outcome.
Don't tell us anything about why we rolled.
Great.
Never.
He said I won't.
We're gonna do something.
In the middle of the night, as you all are sleeping.
In the middle of the night.
Gwendolyn, you hear Thule gasp out for breath.
Oh no.
And in a panicked sound that Thule would make when getting stabbed. If you would like to flavor that.
Bye.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Bazinga!
Boing!
She goes like that. Yes. But I'm sure she's not actually getting stabbed.
She's not dead again.
Oh my gosh, he's rolling a bunch of dice.
Yeah, this is a TikTok.
Oh no!
Thule, you take 32 piercing damage.
Whoa!
Yes.
I mean, it was crit. Yeah, it's automatic crit. You're asleep.
So Gwendolyn, you wake up. You hear,
I don't know
and
how.
between you and Thule, you can see a figure in leather armor, and there's like a very small, subtle green flame that's maintained within the rooms at night, and it's reflecting off of blue skin, so it creates this very off, dark blue color, and yellow eyes, so it's very vertical slits, with this jagged dagger standing looking right at you, and as you look over, there's another one of those figures on top of where Thule was sleeping with a dagger plunged into her chest. That's where we're gonna end.
Wow. Bro, you got stabbed.
Sleep girls like gone wrong.
Yeah.
They
Lullaby
could've
noises in
invited
everyone
you
else's
in.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah.